Good evening, everyone. We'll wait for a few minutes, let others also join. Gokul, straight away, good night. Okay, we'll wait for 5 more minutes, guys. Let everybody join, then I'll share you the session link. Uh,
Ma'am, your voice is not audible. You kept it in mute.
Guys, I was on call. I was on office call. So everyone is in. Shall we start the quiz? I think the crowd is very less. That's why I was on unmute and I was talking to my boss. Okay. In the meantime, lot of messages un okay, no problem. So I'm sharing this where is that? Quiz link. I thought we will wait for a few more minutes because people have not joined yet. Hmm. So I've shared the link, guys. Just quickly try to fill that, submit it. So once done, let me know. So whoever is joining now, let me know if you are able to see the quiz link or not. Have you guys done? This is tough this time. Three out of five. Was it tough? Why it's three? I thought this is the easiest questions what I have given this time. Link again. 1 second, I'll drop it again. Yeah, shared. 4 out of 5, 4 out of 5. Okay. Nobody has reached 5 out of 5 yet. Okay, Ramina Banu. Good. So, Madhavan also fine. That's all. Only few have completed. Four out of five. Okay, Abhishek 5 out of 5. Naveen 4. Krishnendu 4. The 5 out of 5 looks very less today. Was it confusing? Any one question? Tanya 5 out of 5. Great, good. Sheikh, Karishma, have you done?
No, ma'am. Doing.
Still doing okay. Last question was tough. Okay, what was okay, 1 second. I mean, last question maybe was confusing. I remember that last question now. Was it confusing, Gokul? Gokul Kannan. Yes. Gokul, from where you are?
Tamil Nadu.
Uday is responding. RRI College. Where is that RRI College? I'm not.
Bangalore.
Bangalore.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, okay, great, great. I'm basically from Raipur, Chhattisgarh. Anybody knows about it?
Yes, ma'am.
Who knows that, Uday?
Yes, ma'am. I'm from Telangana, so I know that Chhattisgarh.
It's nearby, huh? We can
Yes,
travel
ma'am.
in,
Yes, ma'am. Top
eight,
of the Telangana, na, that's why.
12 hours it will
Mm.
take, to reach. My
Yes,
neighbors,
yes,
they
ma'am.
are also Telugu. They will go. So I will be always with them. So I know that.
Nice, ma'am.
Gokul, what sunstone means? Are you replying? You're from Sunstone. Yes? No?
It's an organization.
That's this training institute, right? It's good to connect, with people from different states and different region, different language. I feel really happy. Okay,
We are also, ma'am.
great. So guys, everybody done with the test or anybody need the quiz link quickly? We will get into the exit process today. One of the, last process which we could say in the HR, not the last, the least process, I would say, in the recruitment process or in the, HR processes. Okay, so nobody needs this quiz link again, right? So all the 56 people have done. Okay, ma'am, link. I got one person now. Okay, just 3 more minutes. We will start the session by 7:15. Who asked for the link? Nanda Kumar. Okay. 4 out of 5. Mostly 4 out of 5 only, maximum majority. Today is 4 out of 5. Maybe everyone is getting stuck in the last question. I feel so. Okay, no problem. Fine, guys. So it's 7:15. We will start with the session for the exit process. Okay. So, so when I say about exit process, what are the, basic comes in your mind, or in an interview, how you can, give your answers like what is exit process? If somebody asks you, maybe your college teacher or friends, or you are trying to get in some conversation with anybody, if they ask, what is the exit process in HR? So what comes in your mind first? Exit process or exit means what? It's a synonyms of some other English words, right? Which is a very simple English word. Exit means what, guys? Leaving. Perfect. So exit, simple, in simple manner or simple word English, we can call it as leaving. Okay, out of the organization, when I say, exit from the organization or exit process is involving, then that is organization. Simply exit means leaving, getting exit from that place or getting out from that place, whatever the place is. Okay, so fine. Exit means leaving. So can or anybody know like how many types of exit or leaving types we have in an organization? Okay, before getting into that, we will know what exactly the exit process means now. Why you think that exit process is important, why we should have a exit process in any organization or in, yeah, I would say organization, whether that's a big MNC, small MNC, so why we need that? Why we need the exit process?
because there should be a cleaner way of exiting, because like his employee must be officially released from the company, so that if he wants to get into another company, there will be a clear flow,
Correct,
right?
correct. You're right. You're right. You're absolutely right, Gautam. So to get the clear, clear check from the previous organization to go and join with the new organization. And why do you think that employee need a clear check before leaving that company? Why is that so important? Why just he can't leave and go and join with some other company? Any guesses on this? Have you ever thought about it? Maybe you have severe siblings, they are working in any organization, or your parents who might have worked in any organization, or maybe your friends who is working. Have you ever thought like why that person has to get the clearance or get the this exit process completed and then go and join to the other organization? Excuse me. Maybe he might get issues. Like what issues? That is what I want to understand. Credibility regarding their last pay, behavior certificate, etc. That is something certificate you're talking about, right? And to check on the last pay, that is fine. But what is most important thing to get this clearance before leaving the organization? If he is having the clearance, then you mean that he will get the last pay credibility, I mean, regarding to their last pay. And if he cleared the exit process, only then that person will get the behavior certificate. Is that so? Personality. So once we complete the exit formality from any organization, then only we will come to know about the person's personality. Something very important is involved in this. Let me give you a hint. Okay, so when you join any company, when you join to any other organization, what happens? What is the reason you are joining to the organization? Let me ask in that way. What is the reason you will go for a job tomorrow? Let me ask. Salary, right? So basic thing is salary. Now, what is the secondary thing? This is primary. Salary is primary. We are going and joining. What is secondary thing? Rohan. Okay, it's okay, Rohan. So his credentials and access should be revoked. Perfect. Credentials and access should be revoked. That's true. So that process, that revokeness can be done if the employee is leaving the organization. From that moment, they will do it. But what that relate with the exit process, that is what I am trying to make the chain for. Don't worry. Okay, somebody replied for upskilling and work for organization experience certificate. Yes, these are some primary things for what a person or an employee will go and join to the organization. Now, once we have joined to the organization, so there are some trust that organization has given to the employee or the vice versa, right? Employee is also trusting the organization because salary is never paid before your working days, correct? Yes or no? Quickly. Or will you get the salary before you work? Correct? Okay, yes. So once we work, only then we get the salary, right? So when you are working, what is happening during that period? When you are working, company is giving you the access in their system, in their server, in their skill knowledge, in their domain, because every organizations will have their unique work process, right? Which they don't want that anybody should know about it, or else the competitor will know about it and they will start working like them. Then how they will become unique in the market, right? That's the reason the company or the organization that documents that hierarchy structures in the product or in the knowledge wise, once any employee is joining, the company is sharing everything with that particular employee. And once the employee have passed some working days, some mentioned working days for which the salary has to be generated as per the company policy, and once the employee has worked for that so many days, the salary will be credited. Now, what happens is when the employee says, no, I want to leave, I want to get exited, right? So immediately we have to replace that particular employee with some other employees, because he's been trained. He was getting the knowledge for free of cost. He was getting the salary. He got the access in some other domains. In this learning process, he might have downloaded something with him in his mobile or in his laptop and took his to his home, which should be not allowed. But maybe for the learning purpose, he might have done and he has taken to his home with him, right? So this server will be having the checking process, like which all the documents has been downloaded to which all servers or which all IP address. That is what in this exit process, every team will be checking on whether this employee has got the salary or not, because this is relevant to monetary. And whenever it comes with monetary, the employee or the employer both have the, what I can say, both have the, what I can say that word, okay. They both can file a case against each other if there is anything less or more. Okay, now because this is relevant to monetary, that is what this exit process is always very, very important. Yeah, can sue each other. Correct. That's the word. I was not getting it. Thanks, Abhishek. Now, this is the exit process. That is why we need in the organization. Okay. Basic thing for the salary, if it's less or more. Second thing is skill, because the company has given the skill for free of cost. And if he has downloaded any documents with him or her, that person has to, trash it or give back to the organization and get the mail confirmation that he doesn't have anything. The legal thing, the legal confirmation, I would say, that is written, what has been written by either parties or what has been sent via mail communications. Okay. And this WhatsApp messages, phone calls, text messages, they are not coming under any legal documents or as a legal proof. Okay. That is just for an knowledge, guys. Okay. Now for this exit process, during this exit process only we can come to know about all these things, about the, if he, that person has taken any advance, then he has to pay back to the company, right? So how he will submit or pay back if he is leaving the organization. So these are some criterias, and these are the main reason why the exit process is being brought into the organization. Now, when we say exit process, so exit process also has notice period that comes in mind, right? Automatically when the employee resigned, automatically we think about that person has to serve notice period. So in some companies the notice period is 30 days, in some companies the notice period is 60 days, in some company the notice period is 90 days. Anything more than that? Anybody heard about it? Notice period more than 90 days? No, right?
No, ma'am.
Perfect. So that is the standard. Up to 90 days notice period is the standard as of now in this corporate world. Okay. Now, about the exit process, about the exit types we were discussing, right? Yeah. So how many types of exits are there in the organization? That could be a small startup or a big MNC. They will have all these type of exits. So we can have an open discussion now. I'll just note it down how many types of exit you guys know now. So how many types of exit, guys? Shravani is telling 3 types. Okay, what are those 3 types? Ownership. What do you mean by ownership here? I'm not getting it. Like, why ownership has come here? Can you explain, Ashwini, like what you're trying to say? Are you with me, Ashwini? Like, are you able to understand my question? Like what I was asking? Private public organization. Okay, why we are talking about private public organization? Okay, we are not talking about the organization now, Ashwini. Like my question was like, what are the different types of exit or different types the employee is leaving the organization? Permanently exit, temporary exit. Okay, temporary exit, layoff, absconding, voluntary retirement, firing, retirement, and shift to other. Okay, end of service, employment at will. Okay, got it. So a lot more options are coming now. So you guys can make a note of it. Always, anywhere and everywhere, there are 7 types of exit. Okay, 7. There are 7 types of exit. One is, yes, voluntary exit or voluntary resignation. But when we are talking about exit process, it's better to write voluntary exit instead of resignation. So when we say voluntary exit, it is understandable that that person is voluntarily coming and resigning. That is the only meaning of that. Okay. So voluntary exit. Second is contract based. So contract, I'll tell you now. Okay. Like I'm telling that 7 types of exit only. You guys can make a note of it. Okay. And any one person at the end can ping in the group. So everyone can make a note of it. Okay. So one is voluntary exit. Second is involuntary exit. So I will let you know what does the meaning of involuntary exit is. You know, like voluntary, you said they are coming and resigning. That is voluntary, right? Now, involuntary exit means where the company is terminating. Termination on behalf of what? Termination happens only for one reason, guys. Remember this, okay? Anything and everything cannot be called as termination, okay? Termination is only when the employee is a poor performer or he is having some misconduct. Okay, then we have to absolutely terminate that employee. Okay, yes. Performance issues. Yes, that's what. That's the major underlying. Termination always comes because of non-performance, then misconduct in the organization or treating not treating properly with the employees or the subordinates, So with those some attitudes and all, we call them as termination. Fine. Now, involuntary, there are 3 types. One of the type is termination. Second is layoff. You guys heard about layoff? That is also involuntary. Okay. So layoff means, what does layoff means now? So in any organization, due to some financial crisis or due to some restructuring or mergers of 2 companies into one, okay, during that time, what will happen? They will say, I don't need these people. I don't need this employee. We can ask them to leave. So when the company is asking the employee to leave, they are doing layoffs. Okay. During this COVID time, so many layoffs have happened. If you might have, if you might be reading the news, you might have come to know, that so many employees have lost their jobs during this COVID time because of financial crisis in each and every organization. Everywhere was there layoff. Even across world, it was there actually. Okay. So termination, then layoff, then we have dismissal. Now, what is dismissal? This correct, fraud activities. If the employee has having or done some fraud activities, like while submitting the documents at the time of joining, he has given some fraud document. What is some huge paragraph has come in between the chat box? So, Sheikh, we were talking about dismissal, but you have shared voluntary termination. Okay, okay. So you can be proactive. That is good. But let's stick to the point where we have left the topic earlier. Now we are in some other topic. I can understand, Gokul. Okay. So termination due to serious violation. So as the previous person, what is the name? Ashwini, where she has find it correctly and she was texted on spot, So good, active girl. Okay. So dismissal is relevant to fraudulent. So what does this fraudulent comes from? Fraudulent comes from, when you have submitted any document at the time of joining. Let's say some university document, college certificates, they have taken. Some employees, what they will do, they will take the color printout. Okay, and they will submit it. That is not the original, or that is not the valid document actually, but they will submit it. So at the time of BGV, we will find, or the BGV vendor will find, madam, that this is fraud documents. So it's a forgery happened there, right? Immediately we will dismiss that employee. That employee might have worked with the organization for 1 to 2 months, and he might have got the salary also, but at the end, who is in the loss? Company. But they will immediately release them. They'll immediately ask them to leave. Okay. That comes under involuntary exit. Now, the fourth one, I could say that contract end. So when the contract end is, let's say when we hire any candidate, when we hire any employees on the contract basis, I will tell them like this person is going to be with us for the next 1 year. Okay. So automatically what it means, next 1 year he will be with us, and once this 1 year period is completing, he is getting his contract is getting ended, right? So automatically he will be getting released. But in some cases, what happen if the performance is really good, if that person is taken some good initiatives within the organization, he is training the juniors, he is interacting with the managements to understand what is the management point of view to get the goals and all, right? So during that time, what happen is this particular employee, we may ask them to continue with us. Sometimes what happens, those contract employees may get converted into the on-roll employees, or maybe we will furthermore we will process as the, we will further the agreement for the another 1 to 2 year. Okay. You guys can note down one more point. Any employees who is joining as contract, okay, as per the Indian government law, they can be with one particular company for 3 years max. Okay. For 3 years max, that candidate can be under contract role. If that company wants that employee to continue again as a contract, there should be a break of 1 year, 6 months to 1 year as per the Indian government law. Okay. Are you getting it? This was an input for you all. If you ever get a question about contract employees in any industries, then this can be your answer. So how long any employee, or how long the employer can associate an employee as a contract, for how many years? So what is the answer for that? Quickly, anybody can text. Did you get me or not? It was an input, 3 years, correct. 3 years is the limit for that particular employee to work as a contract employee. If the company wants that person to continue, then that person has to have a gap with that particular company. But in between, he can go and work in some other company as a contract, maybe for another 6 months to 1 year. Then again, he can come back and join. So when he's coming back and joining again, then again, he can be as a contract employee for 3 years. That is the max limit, not beyond that. Okay. So that is end of contract. Fine. Now, what is the fourth type of, I'm sorry, how many types we have discussed now so far? Voluntary, involuntary, end of contract. 3 types we have discussed, right? Are you guys with me? I will make a note of it. We have discussed voluntary, then we have discussed involuntary, and then we have discussed contract end. Right, guys? So in involuntary, we have again three types, right? So again, involuntary, three types, that was termination and layoff, and the last one was dismissal, right? Okay. Now the fourth type, the fourth type of exit. So what I'm telling you now is what is the, major exit we get in the organization. In that list, I'm telling you, okay? So the topmost exit reason will be voluntary. The second reason will be involuntary because of any other reasons like termination, layoff, or dismissal. The third exit process will be, of course, contract end. The fourth exit process will be absconding. Have you heard about absconding, guys? The employee is absconded
Yes,
from the
ma'am.
job. Who said that?
They won't intimate that they are leaving and they just disappear out of nowhere.
Correct, correct. That is called as absconding. So such type of employees also, we have to make a note of it. We should not, get just like that. We cannot just remove their name. Okay, we have to make a note of it. We will try to reach that candidate to understand why that person has left, why he is not coming. So the percentage is very less for that particular employee who will revert to the HR calls. Okay, and if that person has absconded is nothing but, as Abhishek said, like he is, maybe absconded. I could say that he is not coming to the office for so many days. He has just left the organization without intimating to anybody. Then the company will consider that an employee has absconded. Now, there is a note for this absconding also, guys. If any employee is not updated to the immediate manager about his leave days for 7 days. 7 days is the cap. Okay, when I say cap, which means the employer will wait for the candidate for within this 7 days. That is the cap, that is the limit for that particular employee, that or any employee who has taken leaves without intimating. The limit is 7 days. Okay, if within a week that employee is not come back, has not reported to the manager, or is not updated to the senior manager or their team colleagues also, then that particular employee considered as absconded employee, and we will process the exit process as termination. Clear, guys? So termination process is coming here again. But this is absconding exit. So absconding exit has this process. Okay. So the cap for a person to be called as absconding is 7 days. Remember this. If in case the employee has reported back in the 8th day, so and so reason, whatever so reason, that during that time, the HR will be giving a show cause notice to that particular employee, and he has to write a mail in a written or in a written letter or in a mail, addressing about his issues, and he will not repeat that such in future. Okay. So
Ma'am,
that is the
excuse me. Sorry, ma'am, can you please repeat about the notice you were talking about, the show cause
show cause
notice, and
notice.
give a little note about?
Yes, show cause notice is the notice which is given to the employee who has been, not intimated to their reporting manager. That could be whatever so reason. Like show cause notice is not only for the abscondees, that is also for the non-performer, Okay, to get into that, let me tell you something basics, Before giving any termination, okay, or before announcing that person as an absconding, there is a documents process. That process is only show cause notice, where the employee has to write a mail in a written. He has to confirm that why he was not able to perform, why he is not able to come back to office, why he was on unplanned or unintimated leave. He has to explain himself. Now what is happening here is, employer is giving the chance to the employee to prove his or her innocence. Okay, if that person is successful, the company will not get into the exit process. If that person is not successful, then of course they will be getting into this termination or absconding label. Okay, was that clear, Abhishek?
Yes, ma'am. So it is a mail or something which we as a HR will send to the respective candidate, asking them to justify the
Correct,
cause,
correct, right.
to show causes, to show
Yeah,
why they have done certain
correct.
something.
That's why it's called as show cause notice. Like we are sending to them show cause notice. Please prove your innocence. In
Yes.
simple.
So HR admin will be responsible for this.
HR, see, in big organization, it depends, it depends on the different HR, but it comes into generalist administration activities.
Okay, done. Thank
Okay.
you, ma'am.
Yeah.
Thank you. Thank you.
Also, I would like to add on in this. So whenever we are giving this show cause notice or whenever before terminating, we just like that cannot terminate any employee. Okay. We must have given some warnings to the candidates, to the employees, this is what is going to happen if you are not performing well. Okay. And if the, not only for this non-performance, if the employee is not behaving proper to the other employees, if the employee has done some minor misconduct activities, okay, so we have to give some warnings, and the max limit of warnings in any organization is 3. Okay. First warning, we have to make a note, send a mail and register it. Second warning, again make a note, send a mail, register it. Third warning is the last warning. And after that, if any incident comes or HR is knowing about it, then the next process is termination. Clear, guys? So you should know before terminating any employee, what is the warning limit. 3 warnings must. Without giving any warnings, you cannot terminate anybody. That is illegal. The employee can sue you now. The employee will. So you also being an employee for any organization, you should also know this. When you are working in any company, if they are coming and just like that and asking you that we are terminating you, are non-performing, you have the rights to take them to the court. Because as per the labor law, it has been mentioned any Indian government companies, okay, they have to give the employees 3 warnings. Not only here, even US, UK, everybody follows this process. Okay. So 3 warnings is must. Make a note, entry, like other HRs will be making, all this data entries and all. So they will be having a file with the candidate name. So all the documents will be saved there only. Okay. So once that file has come across 3 warnings, that's it. That employee is, in the neck now to leave the organization. Any one mistake, that's it. We'll ask him to leave. So this warning letters, when we give this warnings, 1, warning 2, that is nothing but again, we are giving, some companies will give show cause notice as the warning letters. Okay. But some company will give straight warning letter where it will be written, this is the last warning. You should not do all such activities. If you are doing, we will just terminate you. Like this will be in the letter. But the best process is show cause. If that person is non-performer, get the confirmation from that employee itself for you to be in safer side, that nobody can question you tomorrow, because you are saving the proof, you are saving the data with you. Okay. So I hope this part is clear. The warnings max 3 has to be given, only then the termination. Now for absconding also, max 7 days we will wait for the employee. If he is not responding, not replying to our calls, then automatically 8th day we will consider them as an absconding employee, and we will process the termination, termination exit for that particular employee. Now, so that is called absconding. So after absconding, what could happen? Okay, there is an exit. 5th one, I would say that retirement exit, right? You guys have heard about it, retirement exit. Once the employee reaches to what age, then he is retired from the job. Any
60.
idea what is? Huh?
60.
60 is the right answer. As per the Indian government, 60 is the age has been declared. The employee can get retired at the age of 60, 60. Okay. So retirement exit is also a process, because when they have reached to 60 years, then they are eligible for pension, gratuity, PF benefits. So all this has to be given by the organization, right? So that is one exit process there for those retirement exit employees. This is not so important, but yes, this is also the exit types of exit, right? That is what I have told this at the bottom line exit types. So there are two more bottom line exit types. That is death exit is also there. So do you know what is death exit? If the employee during the working hours, or if the employee when he's doing some organization work or traveling for the office purposes, if that person dies, because of some unforeseen reason, something might have happened, right? Yes, unexpected events, right, Ashwini? So something, if that happened and the employee is been no more, then there is also some process for death exits also. But it is the least exit processes, but you should know there is a process on death exit also. Okay, then the last, it's not rocket science for death exit. It's very simple. We have to collect the death certificate and we have to do the final settlement. If they have any insurance claims from the company side, so this HR will be doing, and so will be transferring that amount to the nominee of that employee. Okay, now the last one is mutual separation. What do you understand by mutual separation? The word itself is having mutual, however you call it as mutual separation. Ashwini, anything? Mutually? Mutual means what? Two parts, that is different. Two parts are different. You have to complete the sentence, Sheikh. I think so. Two parts, what? Question mark. I'm having a question mark after two parts. Mutual is what? Mutual. Mutual separation. Mutual agreement. Mutually means acceptance. Perfect. Who's that? Shakti. Okay, Shakti has answered this. Mutually means acceptance. Now, mutually separation means acceptance from both the parties. Separation from where he will do, from the second person only he can do the separation. The employee cannot do separation from himself or herself, right? That is understandable. Okay, so when I say mutual separation, that means employer and employee both are agreeing that, okay, let us leave this person. Employee is also telling, okay, I also cannot continue with this organization. I want to go, I want to leave and go somewhere else, or I'll work somewhere. I've got some relocation. So sometimes what happens, there is a good relationship between management and the employee. So the management will agree, okay, let him go. He might know that employee's family backgrounds. That is why he will support at that time. And any doubt? Okay, so what happened in this mutually exit separation process? So employee will ask for the salary. Maybe I cannot serve the notice period, but I need the full month salary because I have some leaves. You can adjust and you can pay me off. Employer will accept it. Okay, for how many days you're working, I'll pay off the salary. But in the absconding case, what happens? Even if if the person have worked for extra days, they will not pay. That is absconding. Termination also, what happens? Termination, they will pay only the working days salary. The leave balances, if it's there, they will hold it. They will not clear that. Okay, there are some things process like that. Okay, so I think I was thinking, what is this huge message in the chat box? Okay, so 7 types of exit, guys, everyone should remember. But the least 3 will be very, very less in the organization. Okay, but in case if that company face this type of exit, then you should be aware of like how to proceed in that process, right? So what are the documents you should be submitting during the time of exiting of that particular employee? Okay, so administration is required for signing, agreeing, management signs, employee signs, department HOD sign, all these things are required. So fine, these are the 7 types of exit, what you have got it now. Now, so steps in the exit. I can finish it another 10 minutes, guys. Okay, so what is the major steps in the exit process? Of course, we'll take the first one. Exit whenever it happens, like involuntary exit or voluntary exit or end of contract. Absconding, we cannot do anything. It's not in our hand. So that is what absconding. we cannot talk about it for this processes, what I'm going to tell. Retirement, yes, that can be done. Death again cannot be done anything. Mutual separation can also be taken care of, this exit process. So the exit process, what I'm going to talk about, that is for voluntary, involuntary, end of contract, retirement, and for mutual. Okay. So what happens is any employee who's resigned, of course, or we are asking them to leave, right? Sometimes we give them the notice period. We ask them that 30 days you have to be with us. For what reason we will ask them? To get the knowledge transfer. Immediate, the next step is knowledge transfer. So you guys keep this in your, I think it's easy, you will remember this. So once any person resigned or we are terminating or the person is getting retired, we will immediately ask the person to get the knowledge transfer ready. We have to hand it over to the next immediate person, whoever is going to replace you. Okay. So when I say knowledge transfer, that doesn't mean only theoretical, he has to write the things. Okay. He has to give the process documents. He has to make a folder. He has to give the path in the system where he has to go and where he will get what document. Everything we have to collect it. Okay. Then exit interview and feedback collection is must, even from the terminated employee, even from the mutually separated employee, even from the end of contract employee. Okay. And voluntary, involuntary, of course, that is also there. We have to get the interview, exit interview done, and the feedback we have to collect, because that will help us at the end for the analytics purpose, why these many people have been exited and what are the major reasons. Because at the end, management will only ask why these many exits has happened. Then we should be ready with the data. Okay. Then comes final clearance and documentation. So final clearance means what? Clearance of the ID card submission to the organization. Maybe the door swap card will that employee will have. He has to submit that. And any company assets, if the company has given to that person, like laptop, and some other books maybe he might have taken from the company to get the knowledge. So all these are company assets in short, right? So all these company assets, the person has to submit or hand over to the HR team to get the clearance. So when this clear happens, only then they will process the full and final settlement. So when I say full and final settlement, that means there is no dues between either parties, not by employee and not by employer. It is closed clearly. That is why this full and final settlement is required. And whenever any employee is leaving, by default, that employee will receive the mail on full and final settlement, because this is company's responsibility to send or to submit that to the employee who has left the organization. Okay. So you can remember this full and final settlement is must. Whoever has left the organization, this is HR's responsibility to send this full and final settlement to the employee's mail or letter, however it is been done in that company. Okay. That means that full and final settlement means all the clearance, documentations, knowledge transfer, submission of the company assets, everything has been done. And after this full and final settlement only, HR will release the relieving or experience letter or certificate to the employee. Before that, no HR or no companies will release the relieving or experience letter. Okay. So if being as an employee, you or I also want that, relieving experience letter, I have to get this, exit process to be fulfilled and get this full and final settlement from the current company. And after 30 days or 45 days, we will get the relieving or experience letter. So some companies have the process of sharing the experience or relieving letter in 10 days. Some have 45 days. Some have 30 days. That is the max. 45 days is the max. Beyond that, no HR can hold the letter. They have to give to you. Okay. Because there is also the clause, the employee can go and file the case against the company. So within or max to max 45 days, the letters will be released to the employee. Okay. So yes, that is the process, guys. Once you once you release the relieving or experience certificate, done. The exit process is done from there. So any doubts? This is very simple, but when you get into the documentation, hell lot of documentations are there, guys, because you have to maintain every terminations and every exit. If we are doing it, then we have to get the warnings, then the one-on-one discussion. Warning just like that we cannot give, guys. We have to be in person and then hand over the letter in person. That is the process. Or send the mail when they are talking to you among, when you are in one-on-one discussion with the employees, then we have to send the mail, warning 1, like that. So the max is 3 warnings. After that is termination. So when it's termination, that time also HR will go and meet in person. So a lot of activities, small activities will always be there. But overview is this process, guys. So is that clear? What I will do quickly in this chat box, I will share you the major questions, the important questions which can be asked in the exit interview letter. When the employee is leaving the organization, what questions can be asked, and that questions will help you at the end for the analysis. Okay, just one moment, guys. I will just copy from my folder and paste it. 1 second. So I have made a Word document for you. It's not, so fancy and all. It's just simple written document in a Word document. So I have just prepared for you all. So tomorrow, if you are attending any interview, if they ask what are the important questions that you will check in the exit. So these are some questions you can check. 1 second, to everyone. Send. So just open it and let me know, is it viewable or not? So I can be satisfied that it's been reached. You can open it. Can quickly just read those questions in this forum. Any one person, huh? If someone has opened the document, can you just go through the questions loudly so we all can hear, including me?
What made you decide to leave the company?
Mm-hmm.
What made you decide to leave the company? First question.
Okay.
Second question, was there a specific event that influenced your decision?
Okay.
And third question, did you feel your role elegant with your career goals?
Mm-hmm.
Third
Perfect.
question, what aspects of your job did you enjoy the most or least?
Okay.
Fifth question, how would you describe the workplace culture?
Mm-hmm.
Sixth question, how was your experience with your manager?
Very
Seventh
important.
question, Seventh question, did you receive enough support and feedback from leadership?
Mm-hmm.
Eighth one, where there's sufficient training and career growth opportunities?
Okay.
Okay, ninth one, did you feel organized and valued for your contribution?
Correct.
10th, were you satisfied with your salary and benefits?
Okay.
11th question, how does your compensation compare with your new employer?
Correct. Correct. Yeah.
12th, what change would you suggest to improve employee retention?
Correct.
13th question, would you recommend this company to others? Why or why not?
Correct. So now what you all feel? These questions are relevant to analyze in future, like why this employee has left the organization. What is the major trend line in exit? Yes? Only Abhishek has responded yes. How about others? What you all feel? With these questions, when we get the answer, so we can make the trend, exit trends. What is the major reason for the exit trends in this organization, right? So what you guys have to do is now, you guys, okay, fine, no problem, because someone is joining, someone is not joining, right? Then it will be a chaos. Forget it. I'll make a rough data for you all with the Excel sheet for this. With these questions, I will give some scoring, okay? But I'll tell you how to give that scorings and weightage and all, which we will use at the end in the analytic sessions to analyze the exit trends in one organization. Okay? Fine. So any doubt, guys?
Madam, I have a doubt.
Okay, yeah.
Madam, in the situation of termination and absconding, that organization will provide experience certificate or not?
See, for termination, we can, because we are terminating. We have asked the employee to leave, but that will
Okay.
not be an experience certificate. Okay, that will
Okay.
be a non-performance certificate, but it will have the duration from which date to which date the candidate has worked and the reason for leaving. That also
Okay.
HR will mention, which is no useful for that particular candidate, because he cannot show that certificate anywhere, right? Because the company
Actually,
has
right,
given
ma'am.
non-performance.
Okay, then what about the absconding situation, ma'am?
Absconding, nobody will give because he has not, fulfilled the company's policies, and he has abruptly he has left the organization. So who will do his job then? Now he has to pay us back. Now this is employees' liabilities to pay back to the company. So he will come and do some settlement and all. Only then we will release the letter, or else we won't.
Okay.
Yeah.
Remaining all situations,
Ma'am, I
they will
have a doubt.
provide experience certificate, right?
Sorry.
Like a voluntary exit and involuntary exit and retirement, remaining all they will provide experience certificate.
Yeah, contract, and also we will give that contract as and he has worked from this period to this period with us. He has performed good. That will be the letter. Retirement exit, of course, we will give because he has completed 60 years retirement and he is worked with full Josh and this, that, and all will mention. Death exit, I think there is no reason for certificates, but yes, to prove that employee was with us from this date to this date, we will be preparing one letter. Of course, that is the service confirmation letter.
Thank you, ma'am.
Anything else, guys?
Yes, ma'am, I have a doubt.
Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. During my internship in that organization, there was something which happened. So there is an employee who's been in that organization for almost 19 years.
Okay.
And he left the organization.
Okay.
And then he immediately joined back. I mean, not immediately, but after a couple days, couple weeks, he's back again.
Okay.
So, and then I asked the person, okay, what happened? Why did he leave and why did he come back or something like that? And they said that the company, there is a policy in the organization that that they can't have an employee for more than XYZ number of years. That's why he left, but he immediately joined back just to just to respect that
What
policy.
type of industry was that?
They are a solution partner for Microsoft.
Okay. See, now what happens, like every organization will not have this because we do have employees who has been with us for now 30 years, senior managers, part of board of directors. They are working with this organization from past 30 years, and one is 25 years, one is like senior people, right? So they are working, they can work. But there is some crucial role. Okay, if you might have known some last year there is some fraudulent in the banks because that person were corely working for that process. He has transferred one rupee to his account and they have earned like 80 lakhs something. They have done this fraudulent. Do you know about this news?
No, ma'am.
No, it has happened with a bank employee. Like they are not the bank employee. They are working through a IT company for the bank process, for the bank applications. Okay. Now what happened is this person is working from past 10 years. Okay. People and management trusted him that, okay, he will not do anything. He's been with us for 10 years. But from the past 10 years, in that application, he has added one code or something where from every account, one rupee will go to his account. Now what happened is this is a crucial role where he was sitting and working. If this person, if this person was keep on moving, moving in the sense, today he is working here, tomorrow he is working in some other department and somebody else will come and take his role. Then what happens? There is a gap. There is a, gap in between. So the person who was continually transferring the money to his account, he cannot do now because there will be every month end report submission. So when one person is doing the report submission of this bank transfers, he will see, okay, only 10 rupees has, for an example, only 100 rupees has gone, okay, debited or credited, balance sheet tallied. But next month, when that person is doing all these fraudulent activities, the amount will fluctuate. Then it got suspicious and he got caught. So for some crucial roles, the employee will not be there for permanent or for long years. They will change it. I'm not sure what happened in that company because he was there 19 years, you're telling. But now it has been announced, the employee who is there with the crucial role, they have to keep on switching within the organization with some other department roles and activities.
Understood. Thank you.
Okay. Thanks, Abhishek. Anyone else? Any other doubts? Or we can wind up. Gokul has said good night at the first of the session.
Good night.
Good night.
Good
All
night.
right, guys. See you then next session, and next session we'll do some payroll you wanted to know,
Ma'am, I
right?
want playlist.
Hello.
Hello, yeah.
Ma'am.
Sorry to
Recorded
interrupt
playlist
you.
video,
I
ma'am.
have a question.
1 second. Uday was saying something, or
I want playlist video, recorded video link.
I think that you have to check with Sunstone because they are recording this, na? So I think it will be with them only.
Okay, ma'am. Actually, data analytics classes are providing that link also in charter. That's why I'm asking.
Okay, I'm not sure about this because I'm not having that access.
Okay, ma'am. Once check with the team and provide that link.
I'll
ma'am.
talk to Sunstone team, okay?
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah, and yeah, somebody else was having a doubt.
Yes, ma'am. It was me.
Yeah, tell me, Tanya.
Actually, I have a query from. Actually, it is out of box. May I ask?
Out of box, like what?
Actually, ma'am, I want to know what is this performance appraisal and potential appraisal about these things.
PMS. Okay. So see, next session we have planned for this payroll activities, right? You wanted to know, I mean, you all guys wanted to know PF, ESI calculations, leave policies, right?
Yes,
OT
ma'am. Yes.
calculations. So I have
Yes.
added that in the next session slide, which is the 8th session. So in that, maybe I can talk something about PMS also.
Ma'am,
Okay.
can you explain a bit, because I have my papers actually tomorrow. I have to.
Tomorrow. So what you want to know about PMS, performance management system and appraisal system? See, appraisal can be of in quarter, can be of in half yearly, and can be of in annually. Depends on the company's policy. It differs. What else? You want to know the calculations? Then we cannot help just like that on the calculations.
No, ma'am. Basically, what is performance appraisal and potential appraisal? That's it.
The performance appraisal is depends on the employee performance. Okay, there is a difference between performance and potential. Potential is not only the performance. Potential involves, taking the leadership, taking the ownership, and can be able to take the quick decisions. In any organization, there are two types of employees. One is performance based, one is potential based. Okay, though every time employer will look for potential based, and they will also support performance based because he is a good performer. But that good performer cannot be a leader because he will say, I don't want to handle the team. I'm happily working independently. Are you getting the difference?
Yes, ma'am.
So the performance appraisal or the performance person can be independent role, and the potential employee or the potential performer depends on the 360-degree aspects. When I say 360-degree aspects, that come leadership role, that come team handling, that come, somebody texted. Once again. Competency, potential, I think both are same because competency is having the same kind of activities, right? But performance and potential will differ.
Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. So Tanya, are you clear? Like now you can write some stories from your end. The major difference I've told you.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
And a performance individual and potential candidates can do further more activities. They are ready to take the leadership. They are ready to meet the performance and they are ready to take the initiatives. Simple concept. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Yeah. Anything else, guys? Any other doubts? Happy tomorrow. Okay, you guys are enjoying the Valentine's Day. Okay, happy Valentine's Day to everyone.
Hello.
Fine, guys, we'll wind up. Enjoy. Okay. Bye. Good night.
Good night, ma'am.
Good night.
Good night, ma'am. Bye.
Good night, ma'am. Bye, ma'am.